When my mom called me drunk, slurring that my sister, I finally understood, I was never a son, never a brother, just their insurance policy. And I cancelled it. Claire's birthday brunch. That's where everything finally cracked wide open. I walked in already bracing myself, already carrying that heavy knot in my chest that told me this wasn't going to end well. Claire had insisted on holding it at Mom's place. She called it ambience. What it really meant was free booze and someone else stuck cleaning up afterward. She was dressed head to toe in white like she was auditioning for a wedding, and by the time I showed up, she'd clearly been drinking. Her smirk said it all. She thought she had the upper hand. Mike, her husband, was zigzagging around the living room trying to wrangle their toddler, like every toy on the floor was an explosive mine. Mom was parked at the table with a Bellini in her hand, acting like it was noon on some cruise ship instead of her own dining room. I sat down, gave a small nod to my cousins Emma and Jared, two of the only sane people left in this family, and poured myself a mimosa. I tried to shove thoughts of the condo out of my head. But it kept creeping back. 6 months ago, I'd done Claire and Mike a favor. They'd been evicted, broke, daycare was too much, and she called me sobbing about how desperate they were. She promised they just needed 2 months in the condo I'd bought as a rental. 2 months. That was the deal. But then 2 turned into 4. Then 6. Rent? 0. They barely managed utilities. Meanwhile, I was covering HOA fees, taxes, and losing every ounce of income that place was supposed to bring. And still, I said nothing. I bit my tongue every time they said, "We're almost there." But then, came the toast. Claire stood up, swaying a little with her glass raised high, that smug grin plastered on her face. The room quieted. Even the kids stilled. She smiled sweetly and said, to me, and to people who know how to stay in their lane. And then she looked directly at me. It was like the oxygen left the room. Every head turned. I stared at her, this woman who had been living rent-free in my place for half a year, throwing shade in front of everyone. So, I lifted my own glass. And calmly said, to people who now have 30 days to find a new apartment, since I just sold the condo you live in. The silence was deafening. Forks froze in midair. And then, clink, Claire's fork slipped and hit her plate. Mom leaned in and whispered, panicked, "What did you do?" I just sipped my mimosa. What did I do? I finally stopped being their doormat. That condo wasn't a charity. I bought it as an investment, to give myself some security, a way forward. And I was done letting their chaos drain me dry. I was already planning to use the sale for a down payment out of state, somewhere far away from all this dysfunction. Dad muttered like I'd just pulled out a weapon at the table. Seriously, Andrew. You've had 6 months, I said. My voice was steady. I didn't make a scene. I didn't even tell you when I listed it. But I'm not your safety net anymore. Claire's voice cracked, almost a whine. You're selling the apartment without even talking to us? I gave